everybody. It's Miss Nickie here from Anythink Libraries in Brighton, Colorado. Can you say, hi, Miss Nickie? Thank you so much for joining me today. To get started, let's sing our hello song, and then we're going to read a story. So to say hello, we're going to use some American Sign Language. And our first sign will be holding 4 fingers up with your thumb in front, holding your hand up to your eyebrow and saying, hello. Hello. Great. Do you remember how to do the sign for friends? We're going to put our 2 pointer fingers up and give them a hug for friends. Great. And then we'll point to our wrist for it's time. We'll put our finger on our chin for to say, and then hello. Let's go ahead and do the whole song together. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. Excellent. So something that I like to do to get my body ready for a story is something called dots and squeezies. I know it sounds a little bit funny, but to do our dots, you can hold out your palm and you can take your thumb of your other hand and press some little dots into your palm. Good job. You can press all over your hand. What about the other hand? Great. Those are our dots, and then our squeezies will be giving your arms some squeezes all the way up your arm to your shoulder. And when we do this, when you put some pressure on your joints and your muscles, it sends signals to your brain and it helps make your body feel calm and ready for a story. So you can do as many of those as you want, some dots and some squeezies. Great. The other thing that I really like to do is to hold up some candle breaths. So let's start with 5 birthday candles, and we're going to take a big breath in and blow the first one out. Ready? Okay. Good. Candle 2. Number 3. Number 4. And number 5. Excellent. I think we're ready to read a story now. This book is called Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day by Judith Vorst. She is the author, and the illustrator is Ray Cruz. That's the person who did all of the pictures, is the illustrator. And this will be read with permission from Simon & Schuster. So let's get started. Okay. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard, and by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running, and I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Oh no. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box, and Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said if I don't have a seat by the window, I am going to be carsick. No one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend and that Albert Moyo was his next best friend and that I was only his 3rd best friend. I bet that made him feel sad. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, the ice cream part falls off the cone and lands in Australia. There were 2 cupcakes in Phil Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of a jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on the top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert? It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Nothing is going right for him. That's what it was, because after school, my mom took us all to the dentist, and Dr. Fields found a cavity in just me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I said, I'm going to Australia. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot, and while we were waiting for my mom to go to the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy, and then I started crying because of the mud, and Nick said I was a crybaby. And while I was punching Nick for saying crybaby, my mom came back with the car and scolded me. That means she yelled at him for being muddy and fighting. I am having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, I told everybody, and nobody even answered. So then we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose red ones with white stripes. I chose blue ones with red stripes. But then the shoe man said, we're all sold out. They made me buy plain old white ones, but they can't make me wear them. When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with his copying machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for books on his desk, and I was careful as could be except for my elbow. He also said don't fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said, please don't pick him up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. There were lima beans for dinner, and I hate limas. There was kissing on TV, and I hate kissing. Ugh. My bath was too hot, I got soap in my eyes, my marble went down the drain, and I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow he said I could keep, and the Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony and not with me. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says some days are like that. Even in Australia. The end. That is the end of this book, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Have you ever had a terrible bad day? Put your finger on your nose if you've had one before. Yeah, me too. Grown-ups have bad days, kids have bad days, and I thought I'd share a couple things that I do when I am feeling grumpy and having a bad day. One thing I can do is what we did earlier. We can take some candle breaths. Remember? We hold up our birthday candles, breathe in. Taking deep breaths can calm your body down and make you feel a little bit better. Another thing that I do sometimes when I'm having a bad day is to take a piece of paper and write something down or draw a picture. It can help to have your feelings not all bottled up inside your body and to get some of your feelings out on paper, no matter what you decide to write or draw. The other thing that I really like to do if I am having a terrible day is to think about something that makes me really happy. You can close your eyes if you want, or just imagine something that makes you feel really good. Like, I think about when my dog sees my sister's dog and they go running towards each other and they jump on each other and they hug and they sniff each other, and it makes me really happy to see them having a great time. So those are some things that I do when I'm having a bad day. What about singing a song that we can sing about some of our feelings that we have. I bet you know this one. It's called If You're Happy and You Know It, Clap Your Hands. So we are going to start with feeling happy. Can you make a happy face? Good happy faces. Ready? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your life will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. What about sometimes we feel mad? Can you show me a mad face? Good mad faces. When you're mad, sometimes you might stomp your feet. So let's get our feet ready for this one, and we'll say, if you're mad and you know it, stomp your feet, stomp, stomp. If you're mad and you know it, stomp your feet, stomp, stomp. If you're mad and you know it, then your life will surely show it. If you're mad and you know it, stomp your feet. Good job. What about if you're feeling sad? Maybe you might cry. If you're sad and you know it, you can cry. If you're sad and you know it, you can cry. If you're sad and you know it, then your life will surely show it. If you're sad and you know it, you can cry. What about when you don't know what's going on and you're feeling confused? I might shrug my shoulders. If you're confused and you know it, shrug your shoulders. If you're confused and you know it, shrug your shoulders. If you're confused and you know it, and your life will surely show it. If you're confused and you know it, shrug your shoulders. Sometimes I also feel silly. Can you show me a silly face? That's a really good silly face. If you're feeling silly and you know it, make a face. If you're silly and you know it, make a face. If you're silly and you know it, then your life will surely show it. If you're silly and you know it, make a face. Good job, everybody. Thank you so much for singing along with me. So there's one more thing I wanted to tell you, which is that if you are having a bad day, or even if you're not and you just want to say hello, we have a phone line called the Anything Connect line that you can call in. It is open on Wednesdays through Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And the number is 720-322-9199. And you can call and talk to a librarian. You could just say hello and tell us how you're doing. You could talk about some books or tell us what you're doing at home, anything you want. And we would love to hear from you on the Anything Connect line. So before we go, I want to thank you for joining me, and we will sing our goodbye song, which is just like the hello song, except our sign for goodbye will be goodbye, like that. Can you try that? Goodbye. Great, here we go. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you are all doing well. Thanks.